Welcome to Career Compass, where we explore dynamic field of data engineering. I'm your host Sumukha, and today we are having a special guest who is skilled data engineer. Please join me in welcoming Shashank. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Sumukha, for having me on your podcast. I'm excited to share all my experiences in the world of data engineering that I have been had now with you and your listeners.
We are delighted to have you here, Shashank. To start, could you please introduce yourself and give us an overview of your role as a data engineer?
Certainly. So, I'm Shashank Sitaram, and I have been working in the field of data engineering for almost 10 plus years now. And as a data engineer, I initially started my career understanding the data concepts and how the data would go about, right? And then we started engineering the data. During my entire career of life, I have seen like how the data comes up, how the data is used within the real time scenario, and my primary responsibilities is has been like basically I started working on the data, but now I have been like designing, building, and maintaining the data infrastructure that supports the basically it supports the storage and processing of large data set. And when we say the large data set, it is all the big data that we are talking about. Okay, so I'll explain you how this data is used and how the data is required to be managed in the current environment and why a data engineer is all required in the next further discussion. But as such, the primary responsibilities for us is basically working with different data sources, databases, building frameworks, right, to ensure that the data is accessible, reliable, and ready for analysis for the data scientists and all the data analysts.
Your role is vital in managing and optimizing data for analysis. For our listeners who may not be familiar with data engineering, could you please explain how data engineering differs from data science and why is it a crucial aspect in the world of data?
Sure. So data engineering and data science are two different topics, but they are closely related and coupled with each other, but distinct fields within the realm of data analytics. When you talk about the scope of data analytics, these are two different big pictures that are there about. Okay, data engineering basically focuses on the technical aspects of the data management and the processing. That is, data engineers basically work on designing and building the infrastructure that enables the data to be ingested, stored, and processed efficiently. That is, for example, right, you go to a retail store. Which is your favorite retail store, Sumukha? Any which is your one single favorite retail store?
Max is my favorite retail store where I would love shopping my apparels.
Okay, so now think that Sumukha goes to Max for shopping all his clothing, all his other sport gear and everything, right? And think that you're a very often customer for the Max retail store. So what happens all the time that you go in, come out, your data is something that gets stored. So there, that is something where Max as a retail will be able to assess whether Sumukha is our esteemed customer and how Sumukha's data can be used for their projections. Okay, so that is where the data, whatever is basically the data which is stored, becomes their analysis for the future growth, right? So they take your data, right, and they process it and we store it, and on the basis of this data the analysis and the future machine learning models are built. So that is the data science. That is, the data science involves using the statistical and machine learning techniques to analyze and extract the insights from the data. In essence, data engineering sets the foundation for data science by ensuring that data is in the right format and accessible for analysis.
That's a clear distinction between the two fields. As a data engineer, you must work on various projects and technologies. Could you share a particularly memorable data engineering project you worked on or you had an impact on it?
Okay, So the most memorable project that I have worked on, I have worked on multiple projects, but one of the projects that is very close to me is one of the project that we implemented for one of the media platform, where it was almost a real-time data processing that we had to ingest the data and process it and build dashboards on top of it, where the data analysts and the data scientists used it at a later stage for building the reports. So that project was like we were getting the real-time data from the media platforms, such as, like, if I want to correlate to our applications that we use here is something like the Hotstar. So we all see IPL on Hotstar, right? So how do you watch? I mean, you have different platforms that you can watch an IPL match, right? IPL cricket match can be viewed through television. It can be viewed also on your mobile gadgets now using the application which is Hotstar, right? So now that is where what we did was something. We had the data. It was a national hockey league that was happening in one of the media platform, and we were getting that data and we had to process it. So as part of that, it was a real-time data that we used to get from the application, where we used to capture that data, process it, and store it in the warehouse, which was using that we were actually building the statistics and the metrics, such as what was the duration of the match, and within the duration of the match, how many users actually logged in and logged out within the match duration, how many of them saw the entire match, how many of them took breaks in the middle, how many of them actually saw for a specific amount of time and then logged off. So all these different kinds of metrics is something that we were able to build out of the data log that we got from that specific media application. So using this, we prepared a dashboard which was rather helpful for the data analysts and the data scientists to build a model as to how many customers or how many viewers actually were interested in the specific match, and what match has the more number of viewers, what match actually gained a lot of attraction. All these different kind of stats was something that we were able to build out of it.
Wow, that sounds highly impactful project. For aspiring data engineers, what educational background and technical skills do you recommend they focus on to excel in this field?
Okay. First of all, the main basic strong foundation is in the field of computer science or a related field is essential for aspiring data engineers. Familiarity with programming languages such as Python, Scala or Spark is very much crucial, as these are the commonly used in data engineering. And also along with that, the knowledge of storage technologies like databases, data warehouses and distributed systems is also very much valuable. And adding to this, the knowledge of SQL, which is a SQL query language, is very much essential and a basic foundation for anybody to excel in the field of data engineering. Additionally, proficiency in the big data processing frameworks such as Apache Hadoop and Apache Spark is highly sought after in the industry.
Thank you for providing valuable insights for aspiring data engineers. Given the continuous advancement in the data engineering, how do you stay updated with the latest technologies and trends in the field?
Staying updated in the rapidly evolving field of data engineering is very much crucial. I regularly attend conferences, webinars, and workshops related to data engineering and big data technologies. There are a lot of online forums and community platforms which are very much excellent resources for learning from peers and experts. Engaging with open source projects and experimenting with new tools in personal projects helps me stay up to date with the latest trends and developments.
Continuous learning is undoubtedly essential in data engineering. As we conclude, what advice would you give to our listeners who are curious about data engineering and considering it as a career path?
Okay, so my advice would be to first start building a strong foundation in the field of computer science and programming early on. Okay, and you have to seek opportunities to work on data related projects or internships to gain practical experience. and one has to familiarize with the various data engineering tools and technologies that are in demand, and the main goal is never stop learning and be exploring new advancements. Data engineering offers a rewarding and challenging career path for those who are passionate about managing and optimizing the data to drive meaningful insights and business outcomes. Having said that, data is something that is growing in this real time world scenario. You have data everywhere. If you go to a retail store, you have data. If you whatever you're talking on phone, we have data. Whatever we are speaking now, right, that is also something which can be converted into data. So data is everywhere. So data management is a very crucial thing, and which is going to be evergreen for lifelong. So that is something that is very good aspect for one to choose as a career path.
Profound advice, Shashank. Thank you for sharing your valuable expertise and experiences with us today. Your work in data engineering is undoubtedly shaping the future of data analytics.
Thank you, Sumukha. It was my pleasure being part of this podcast and shedding light on the exciting world of data engineering.
And to all our listeners, thank you for joining us on another episode of Career Compass. We hope this conversation with Shashank has provided you with valuable insights into the field of data engineering. Until then, stay curious, passionate, and remember, data engineering is a crucial pillar in the world of data analytics. Goodbye.